Hi, good evening. My name is Bumpy. I've been doing ABCD Yogi Takeover today, and this is my second Insta Live, and it is our bedtime slowdown. It is our bedtime slowdown where we spend the first hour removing all of the excess energy from our body, and then some petting and face massage, and then we will end hopefully with 20-minute meditation. So please, we're waiting for a few more people and we'll proceed shortly. Thank you for joining. So today what we need is a bolster for sure. And for meditation, because we lose heat from our bodies, if you're still in a place that's a little chilly, then I encourage some socks, a sweater, a blanket, and a hat that you can pull over your eyes, or a handkerchief. And we will proceed shortly. Usually I encourage my regular participants to see if they can get in a shower so that they can go to bed. But that takes a while. A while to make that kind of schedule in our busy days. So even if they catch 20 minutes or one day, it's still a great way to reclaim some time for our bodies and put our bodies and tuck them into bed. This is also a great time to activate a nighttime care activate face care for our evenings. So we do a little bit of face massage. And so we have, hopefully your face is already cleansed, but if you're rushing into class, then we have you bring a serum and moisturizer for your face. So that we can incorporate an oil to incorporate that in our face massage. So this is like a great practice, even just for face care. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm just waiting for a couple more people. We'll be starting shortly. Asking definitely to have a bolster. All right, so my name is Bumpy, and I have been doing the takeover today for ABCD Yogi. And so this is our bedtime slowdown routine. The first hour is to get all of the excess energy out of our bodies and get ourselves ready for bed. And then we have the last 20 minutes of meditation. Okay, we will start soon. Let us plant ourselves on our bolster, and we will just relax our knees down to the floor. And we will work on our alignment. So we will tuck in our stomach, or we can do a slight tuck of our hip, rolling our shoulder blades so the shoulder blades are flat against the back, a chin about an inch back. And we will just take some deep and slow belly breaths. And just arrive here with each other today. Movement into meditation is a community practice, so we do this with as many people as possible regularly. It is really good to kind of go through your day and notice the times that you are able to move your body and celebrate those moments. So today I was able to, and that was really a gift. I was able to do morning practice this morning with some folks from the ABCD Yogi Network, and that was really lovely as well. I am currently broadcasting from what is known as Agawam, or low-lying fields, named by the Nipmuc and Pocumtuck people, also known as Holyoke, Massachusetts. And I want to renew my intention every evening to land back and Native sovereignty efforts. I welcome you now to think about something that you are deeply grateful for today. Maybe a miracle that only you would have noticed, to just name it for yourself. So now I welcome you to exercise, a little exercise that is really great. It helps to release the vagus nerve 10, as well as help us to release some stress right around our neck, which where we hold a lot of energy, especially at the end of the day. So again, centering our alignments, imagining a golden thread or a line of light going from our belly button all the way into the sky. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders rolled back, butt tucked in, chin about an inch back. Big inhale. Into the belly, relax. What I encourage you to do now, and very gently help to hold that ear to the shoulder. Eyes open, 45 degrees at a fixed angle, the opposite side. We're going to have the arm come with the palm facing the back of our body. And for a count of 10, we're going to bring it forward. Taking care to breathe and really reaching with our fingers. Breathing. All the way, reach, all the way to the knee, the right knee. And then we do 10 counts going back, reaching with our fingers. Keeping the eye fixed. Big belly breaths. Makes its way to the back. And 10 more counts moving forward, keeping the eye gazed at the fixed point, across to the right leg. And we can very gently release our right hand. That part of the neck, the left side, is going to be very stretched out, so we're going to just let it float up very gently. Great. And now we're going to do the same thing. Checking our alignment, butt tucked in, shoulders rolled back, chin about an inch back. Big settling breath into the belly. Ear tips open, 45 degrees to the opposite side, looking at a fixed point. Shoulders rolled back of the right hand, palm facing the back. And we're going to come with a count of 10, reaching with the fingers right along our base. Making sure to breathe and keeping the eyes at a fixed point. Reaching to the opposite knee and back for a count of 10. Reaching. Eyes at a fixed point, gentle. Reaching with our hands all the way facing our back body. And 10, count of 10, bringing that forward again. Eyes still fixed. Not forgetting to breathe. Reaching. We can relax the hand and just let the head float up very gently. All right. So now we're going to do some warming up of the leg. I would like you to join me in having the soles of your feet touch. Your knee is in a diamond shape. We're still on the bolster. Shoulders rolled back, butt tucked in slightly, chin about an inch back. Big inhale. Keeping contact with the palms of our hands, we're going to bring our belly button forward until the point where the back starts to curve, and we will not let the back curve. So we're going to just grab a hold of the foot wherever it's at and just hold here for a count of 3, 2, 1. And we can roll back. Maybe massage the inner crease of the hip and the quad, shaking it out just a little bit. Big belly breaths. Great. We're bringing our knees together. I invite you to stand up. So now we're in a standing position, and we are going to do some forward folds and other leg bends to just really stretch out our under hips. Toes together, heels slightly apart. We will go into hip width distance apart. So the way that works is we open our feet 45 degrees, pivot onto the toes, straighten out our ankles so that when the hips apart. So the heels are touching the ground, we're at hip width distance apart. And then we're going to open up the feet 45 degrees, get onto our toes and down. So this is warrior pose. We're going to tuck in our butt, shoulders roll back, chin about an inch back, and we're just going to put our hand on our belly and just enjoy this pose. Making sure the knees are nice and relaxed. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to activate the belly button, activating the belly button, keeping the back nice and flat. We're going to start pulling forward. My hand is at the hip crease, keeping the back nice and flat. We are now going to be at horizon level length. Back is flat. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to just hold it here and just breathe deeply, but activate our belly button. Okay, we're going to now slowly, the feet are facing forward. We're going to slowly bend the knees, and that allows our torso to come down right between the legs. Great work. At this point, with our elbows and in an Anjali Mudra, Anjali Mudra is really interesting because it has many marma points, which are acupressure points, and all of them are pressed up against each other. So this is a great way for just overall well-being and flow. Okay, so now what we're going to do is relax that hold, bring our hands to the back of the heels, and without releasing the hand, we're going to try to straighten out the leg and bring our belly button to go towards the back wall, keeping the contact with the heel, and the back is still straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping contact with the heels, back of the heels with our hand, and our shoulders are rolled back so our back is flat, eyes gently at the horizon. 3, 2, 1. Keeping contact with the hands, we're going to straighten the legs, belly button reaching towards the back leg. 5, 4, active belly button. 3, 2, 1, bending the knees, bringing our torso, which is nice and straight, down the middle, holding it again. 3, 2, 1. Great. We're going to bring our hands down to the floor. Maybe big inhale, maybe relaxing the head. Okay, well, the head never really relaxes at the end of the day because we carry so much stress. Put our elbows right above our knees and just have a little bit of a bracing here because we're going to get ready to help our head relax. There's something really interesting that with invitation and self-acceptance, we can actually direct out this really incredibly proud and stressful head and have it relax after the end of the day. Okay, so we're going to bring our hands right behind the neck, fingertips at the upper back. We're going to grab and squeeze, gentle. And we're just going to just notice how tightly wound up things are really, really hard, and breathe right into it. It's going to be this entire area is going to be locked up in different ways. And with these pull grabs and squeezes, we're going to marvel at work so that we can look confident and go about our business. Big inhales, Big exhales. Thanking our brain and our neck for all of the work that it does. The overwork that it does. Asking for forgiveness because of the way that our world is set up. I'm going to, bracing right above my knee with my elbows, I'm going to just bring my palms on either side of my head and just breathe. All right. Now we're going to bring our hands, and your head is going to start to feel different. Your hands, legs are straight, still in that position, hands in the middle tented, and we're going to walk our way to, let's say, the right side. The left palm is behind the right shin. We're going to roll our shoulders back, the right shoulder back, and lift up the hand above us. A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to just drop that hand gently, bringing the fingers back to the center point. Big inhale. Maybe shaking out your head a little bit, just letting it play. Noticing it is a little bit more loosey-goosey, and that's good. And we're going to walk our hands to the other side, right palm behind the left calf, rolling our left shoulder. We're going to open up the hand, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Bringing that hand down. Bringing the hands to the middle. Bring our elbows right above the knees to bring ourselves up very gently. I'm just grabbing a hold of my upper thighs and just walking my body hip. Rolling my shoulders back. My hands are on either side of my body, massaging my body as it goes up. As it reaches the shoulder, I roll my shoulders back. As it reaches my neck, I pull my chin back about an inch and just thank it for the great balance that it has and had all day today. Big inhale. At this point, we're going to do, this is Gallery. A lot of my movements, these slow down movements are informed by Gallery Yoga or Gallery Paitu, which is a martial art of South Asia. It is an indigenous Adivasi people's movement and movement technology, and you will see that if you study it side by side or you study with me over time, you'll see parallels between what we learn in official yoga classes and some of these martial forms and why they're so different. So what we're going to do is now take these feet that are facing forward and bring them in 45 degrees. Bring them in 45 degrees. Bring the heels in 45 degrees. Bring the feet in 45 degrees, the toes. Bring the heels in 45 degrees. And we're back to standing. Big inhale, exhale. I'm going to just check the time. It is a little dark here, so I just want to make sure I know what time. It's great timing. Okay. Now I would like us to work with something that is really important. It might be a little tough for everybody, but we're going to try to have some different variations for everyone to try. We're going to be working on our frog pose today. It's a great time in the evening. We have to hold these poses for a long period of time, and there's plenty of time right now. So this is where a bolster would be really, really great to have nearby. And let us proceed. Okay, so the key here is we're going to work on one leg at a time just to get ourselves in. Hi! So right now I'm in tabletop. You can modify here if being on your palms is difficult. You can get on your elbows where your palms would normally be with your forearms extended forward. But right now we're in table and we're not going to be here very long. We're going to tuck in our toes behind us, which are hip width distance apart, and get into plank. And then we're going to just push down and okay. The next thing we want to do, and I apologize that it's hard to see on this platform, but I'm going to just move over to one side so you can see it. So my feet are behind me, nice and straight. And I'm going to bring up one foot so that it is parallel. It's kind of running parallel. My ankles are 90 degrees to my thigh bone, and then my feet are flexed. And so we're going to just hold it here. This is a great way to practice also our dolphin. And we're going to just hold it here. And you can also lie down fully. And we're just going to hold it here for a few seconds. And you're just going to be hanging. As your body relaxes, you're going to feel, so let it happen, but just make sure that the alignment is good so that you have your hip bone at perpendicular to your leg bone, your leg bone, and then that is perpendicular to your feet. It is much easier to have a slidey floor for these. Your inner hip for this last count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. Great. So now I'm going to slide over. I'm going to just relax my feet. I'm just going to slide over to the other side. Okay. This time, because I was propped up on my elbows for a while, I'm just going to like lie down here. So my feet are together right now, toes together. The front of my toes are on the ground. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the screen here. My leg bone is 90 degrees to the ankle and the knees line up, and is 90 degrees to my hip and knee alignment. And then my feet are flexed. I'm just going to hang out here. And just like flexing the feet for frog is basically a way of protecting your knees. And big belly breaths are great because you have contact with the earth and you're playing with the earth and be like, hey, look, I'm here. I'm on your body. So it's body to body contact with our earth. I'm gonna just see if my leg is more relaxed. So I'm just gonna press down where my hip is meeting and just making sure I'm sliding over. And just relax. For people joining, we are doing variations of going into frog. The bedtime is a great time to do this exercise, which we never seem to get enough of. It's so important to have a regular practice of frog. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to just let the leg slide to meet the other leg that is straight, nice and straight. This time I'll be just sliding back and forth like a seal. This time we're going to be using the bolster. And I might have to do this kind of like this way so you can see what I'm trying to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have the bolster here, and I'm going to take, I'm giving enough clearance for myself. Okay. Oh, this might actually not work, but we'll see if this works. Okay. So I'm going to just start us off here. I might need the horizontal length of my room because there's too much carpet here for this slide. But what we're going to do is we're going to take, in my case, the bolsters to the right of my foot, and I'm going to take my right foot. I'm placing my bolster nice and square here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide that bolster all the way to the right so that my leg straightens out. My feet are facing forward. And what it allows me to do is, if I have enough room, is this left leg then can sit in almost like a split. So the left leg will be a frog. So I'm going to now face you and do it because I think that I won't be able to have enough clearance otherwise. So I have my foot here, and I'm gonna have my hand over here just to protect it. I'm gonna stretch, I'm gonna just push out with my right, open up my left foot into a frog. And this is all I can manage right now. I don't have that kind of flexibility. Frog is really in that alignment. So somehow this is in one line. The knee and the ankle is perpendicular to the knee and the hip. And then the feet, the left foot is flexed. And we're gonna hold this here. Slide here, that's great. And to get out of it, I'm just gonna press up on my hand and bring my feet closer. I'm gonna try the other side. Okay. So foot on the bolster, and we slide the bolster so it's nice and straight. And then this leg is in that same alignment, except the inner knee is towards the floor, the knee and the hip, and the right foot is flexed. And we're gonna just hold it here. Feet of the foot that slid is also pointing forward. I'm getting a little bit of a slide, that's great. Clearly I have plenty of room to slide. All right, so I'm gonna lift up and release myself from here while our inner thighs stretch. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the frog on the bolster. So we're gonna just straddle it, having the knee on either side of the bolster. Okay. The knees, yeah, on either side of the bolster. Again, notice the hip and the feet are flexed on either side. Okay, and we're gonna pull forward and just hang tight here and just let it do its thing. I wish there was a way to get feedback on these Zooms, but when everyone else is working, then it's like hard to do that. Woo, trying not to spaz out my hip area. Ah, big breath. Frog. For those people joining, we're doing variations into the frog. Okay, I think we're about done with this variation, so I'm gonna just like bring my feet together over the bolster, and I'm just gonna like get off my bolster. This next one I'll do in a variation. So where you would be in tabletop, I'm gonna get down on my elbows. But what you would, this is tabletop, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our knees together, and then we're going to open up like this with our frog. Okay, so I will explain it once I get onto this. Okay, and we're going to open up. So we're doing an internal foot rotation. So that rotation at the hip is kind of critical to help us ease into the frog here. So that's why we have on top of the ground, but it slides open while the knees are together. And then we continue sliding the body, the knees. Oof, great. We're gonna just hold it here. And if you want, you can get on tabletop. Elbows together just to give yourself some room here and some, this allows much of kind of a curve to start to happen. You can be on your elbows as well for a modification, but my elbows are moving towards each other in this tabletop. Protect my wrist. Alrighty. For those people joining, we're doing different variations into frog because why not? When you're about to go to bed, do one of the most difficult exercises to really just get everything out. Okay, at this point, we're going to just very gently forth in this position. Again, some people might want to put a padding underneath the knees, but we're really on the side of the knees. So we're not directly on the knees at any point. But sometimes people have like thin knees or they get bruises and so forth. And when we come forward, you can just try to like really like let that hip to come down as much as possible. And then when you go back, we press down and just try to go back. Great. Okay. Now we're supposed to go and try some presses. So we're going to come down. You're on your palms, press up 3 more times. 3, 2, making sure that the feet are still in frog and haven't slid out. 4, great work. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, okay, we're gonna come down, frog, okay, and then we're going to walk our hands to one side and just hold it there. Trying not to move the other part of the body, but we're just like trying to walk towards one frog leg. And we're just gonna hold it there, keeping the foot flexed. I think it's fine in the beginning because I'm not flush on the ground. We're working our way there. Side stretch here. Big belly breaths. I'm just going to hang tight for 5, 4, 1. And now we're going to walk our body back to the... Okay. Now we're here. So we're back to the center and I'm just rechecking to make sure my feet are aligned because when I was doing one side, my other foot kind of popped off, but I'm just making sure and it's mostly aligned. So now I'm going to go and walk to the other side, basically on my belly. Oof. I'm going to just hold it there. Get as close to that other leg as possible. And we're just going to chill out here. Trying to keep the knee rotated of the other leg. Again, all the weight is really like, the contact is on the inside part of the knee. We're not forcing anything or pressuring anything that feels weird. But right now, my opposite leg, the leg that I'm not reaching, and that's the point of contact, and my inner leg is part of contact, but my heel is no longer on the ground, and that's fine. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Now we're going to just walk our body back to the other side. Hi, how's everyone doing? Please wave if you actually did some of the frog. I would love it. And there's one more variation, which is the needle. So let's get back into our frog. I feel a lot more comfortable after all this time. So my hip, again, my knee straight line. My knee and my ankle are in one line that is perpendicular to my hip line, my hip thigh line, and my feet are flexed. Okay. So one arm all the way over. And we're going to look up in this frog, trying to keep, if you have that excess, the inside of your feet on the ground, the inside of your knees. Trying to relax, palm up, eyes looking up. Okay, we're going to press on the palm that is on the ground and help ourselves get. Double check our alignment of our frog. And we're going to do the other side. So we're going to slide that hand over. And we're going to look up. Keeping the inside of the feet on the ground and flexed. the inside of the knees. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to press down on that palm and come up and slide ourselves into some sort of a sitting position. We did really good. I am so happy right now. I don't even know what to say. How's everyone doing? All right, so now we're going to do one more thing, which is always try to work in some sort of an inversion. So I've learned that having access to wall space is really, really important and critical in helping us get the max out of our workout. However, many people have a hard time having a whole wall accessible. For those of you who have a wall, you can do this against the wall. You do not need a wall for an inversion. You can do the same thing, getting on your back and just lifting up your legs. So I invite us to find some wall space and just hang out there for about a couple minutes, and then we'll be back and I'll do some face yoga. So the way I work here is I bring the side of my body all the way to the wall. Otherwise, your buttocks, and if you don't have that kind of flexibility, it'll pop you off the wall, and then you're not really flush against the wall. So this is kind of my cheat. So I have my whole butt against the wall, and I get down really low, and then I rotate. So my body is now as close to the wall as possible. And we're going to just hang out here. You can micro bend in the knee and just let it relax. Shoulders rolled back. Maybe chin down a little bit so you can just like relax and lengthen the back of your neck. Maybe playing with your belly button, making sure that the sacrum is nice and flush. You can bring your legs up or down. I'm keeping them flexed. Point them and flex them, and point them and flex them, and point them and flex them. The important thing is mostly that we're getting the blood running to our heads. There are, of course, many ways to do inversions. So if you want to experiment with some of the more balance-oriented inversions, please feel free. From the wall, we can we can just like rotate our knees to one side, and we look to the other side and just add in a nice little twist here, keeping the shoulders blades flat on the ground. Big belly breaths. We're gonna like walk to the other side. And we're going to look to the other arm. Shoulder blade is flat on the ground. Palm is facing up. Both shoulder blades are flat on the ground, and we're going to just use our opposite hands to just hold the knees down. Big belly breaths. I'm going to pitter-patter the feet back up. And this time, you don't have to do it. I'm gonna just bring my my hips. I have my elbows right below my hips, and I have my hips, my palms right on the upper part of my hips, back hips, and I'm just gonna try to see if I can get into plow. It's okay if you can't, you know, like we've not been doing a full-on stretch, but you can make your way to plow, great. Or you can just bend your knees, have with your knees. Another inversion. Okay, great, excellent. So now I'm gonna just come to one side and meet you sitting on a bolster. We don't want to undo all of that beautiful work. I am going to just let my knees just drop. We're gonna roll our butt tucked in slightly and enjoying a big inhale or two. This is a point where I have people just like, you know, make sure that they clean their hand or something. They have a washcloth or something like that. I have pretty, like, my face is like, can take quite a bit. I don't have sensitive skin. So if you need to just like, wash your hand or something, that's great. So the first one is taking your thumb and just having it come up in between your brows for about a minute. And we're just breathing big, big belly breaths. So there's a lot of at a time. Great. The next one is we're bringing our knuckles together and we put them on our forehead and we just kind of go. And this stimulates blood to get there and over time minimizes all of those frown lines that we get across our foreheads. And boy, does it feel good to get your knuckles along the temple. Okay. And now, very gently, we're gonna put our thumbs on the outside part of the eye. And we're gonna this is the super, super gently. This is almost like a lymph massage. So lymph massages require very, very gentle stroking. So we're just going up here and maybe just below. And this is like bringing our fists together and then just resting our chin on it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our tongue and go to the roof of our second. Okay. Oof. Really feel that. Have you seen those Instagram ads where they make you put something? It's kind of similar, I guess. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers, holla, okay, and we're going to go across, right below our chin and across our jaw. Again, gentle. Doesn't have to be like paper thin gentle, but because these are bigger muscles, like the neck muscles and stuff. So we just want it to get the blood to be there. Okay. And then the next one is you take 3 fingers and you put it right above your mouth. And it's basically just to keep it from crinkling when you do this next step. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your 3 fingers right above your mouth, and then you're going to blow up your cheek and then pitter patter with the free hand. Okay, so I'll just show you how to do it. So like all that. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. Again, clearly bringing blood. Our animal bodies love this as well. It's like variation and playfulness. Okay. Wow, that feels really good. And so now we're going to just get our neck. So we're just going to go up and down our neck. I like to cross my hands because then it's just easier to reach either side of the neck. No point in only doing your face because the neck also ages. Everything is paper thin at a certain age. And that's okay. We're still beautiful. However we are. But it's also good to maintain what you can. Alrighty. So that brings us to the conclusion of getting some energy out, getting our face ready. And now we have 20 minutes of meditation that we do as a community. So what we need for meditation, because the heat, you can also grab your own, is the bolster. Socks. A sweater. I'm still in a place that gets a little chilly. And when you're beginning or any kind of meditation, you don't want to be distracted. So the bolster helps you just relax your body and not be fighting with your body. The socks, keep your feet nice and toasty. I always have some hot tea or some water that I drink before I go. And a hat or a handkerchief or a blanket. I'm going to be very silly today because all I could find was my Christmas elf hat. So here goes. Okay, so now what we want to do is a couple things, particularly for people who are new to meditation. Sitting up nice and tall for as long as possible, or it's a really great way to just get back into your body if your thoughts are distracted. So shoulders rolled back, butt tucked in, chin about an inch back, and in perfect tension with the weight that goes into the ground from the belly button. That's a great position to bring yourself back to. Big inhale and exhale. The sit bone is also a great place. So if all you're doing is kind of going back and forth very gently at your sit bone, that's great for 20 minutes. A relaxed jaw, which hopefully the face yoga is allowing you to be a little bit more smiley. The tip of your tongue at the top of your mouth allows you to have a nice softness to your jaw. Dropping into your heartbeat. It's a little harder in the bedtime because we haven't done as much intense exercises. It was pretty chill today, but just feeling your heartbeat and just counting your heartbeat is a great way of meditating. And the final one that is really helpful for me is holding my own wrist. So shoulders rolled back, butt tucked in, chin about an inch back. This session with a bell. Thank you, everybody. That concludes Bedtime Slowdown with Movement and Meditation. It's a daily or near daily practice, which we do in the morning and evening every day of the week in community, centering QT BIPOC community organizers and culture workers. And if you, as being part of the ABCD Yogi, our yoga facilitator, and interested in maybe joining our schedule and calendar so that we can hold this space together, please reach out. Also, I am asking if people are interested in some of the posts that I have been posting and want to support the research and development that goes into creating a de-Brahmanized curriculum, which we're calling the research to help support yoga at intersections, which is our de-Brahmanizing yoga. Because without de-Brahmanization, we're not able to really decolonize properly. We need to work intersection. So thank you so much, and I hope that those of you who are about to go to sleep get some good rest, and those of you who are on the opposite end of the world had a nice way to bring some movement into your day. Thank you. Please reach out on my DM at Third Eye Fell or currently at ABCD Yogi. Have a good night.